Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Assalamu alaikum. And welcome to another episode of Suhoor Bites, where we take a few moments each morning to reflect on the wisdom of the Qur'an. In these blessed moments before dawn, as we nourish our bodies for the day of fasting ahead, let us also feed our souls with the light of divine guidance. Each day, we will reflect on a verse from the Qur'an, drawing inspiration and lessons to carry with us throughout the day. Today, we will be looking at Surah Al-Isra, verse number 26, where Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, وَآتِ ذَا الْقُرْبَ حَقَّهُ وَالْمِسْكِينَ وَابْنَ السَّبِيلِ وَلَا تُبَذِّرْ تَبْذِيرًا. And give the relative his right, and also the poor and the traveler, and do not spend wastefully. This verse encapsulates a fundamental principle of financial and social responsibility. It begins with a clear directive to fulfill the rights of three groups: relatives, the poor, and the travelers. The Arabic word used for give is ati, which implies more than just giving. It suggests fulfilling a duty or an obligation. This nuance is significant as it frames the act of giving not as mere charity, but as fulfilling a social and moral responsibility. The verse specifies three categories of recipients. First, the relative, which encompasses close family members and extends to more distant relatives. It emphasizes the importance of maintaining family ties. Second, the poor, referring to those in financial need within the community, which then highlights the principle of social responsibility. And third, the traveler, literally son of the road in Arabic, wabn as-sabid, which could extend to anyone who has been stranded away from their home. Interestingly, the verse uses the term right when referring to what should be given to relatives. This frames the act of giving not just as charity, but as fulfilling a duty, implying that the recipient has a legitimate claim to a portion of one's wealth. This aligns with the view that wealth in itself is a trust from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and its proper distribution is a responsibility of the wealthy. The verse then transitions to a prohibition against wastefulness. The Arabic term used is tabdhir, which goes beyond simply overspending. It refers to spending in ways which are illogical, corrupt, or inappropriate. This pairing of generosity with moderation is a key aspect of Islamic financial ethics. It ensures that generosity is practiced with wisdom and restraint. Interestingly, this verse was revealed in Mecca before the Prophet's migration to Medina. This timing indicates that the principles of financial responsibility and care for the community were very well established early in Islamic teachings, emphasizing their fundamental importance. Some interpretations suggest that relative mentioned in the verse specifically refers to the relatives of the Holy Prophet. However, the general consensus amongst the Mufassirin, amongst the scholars of tafsir, is that this command applies universally to all Muslims and their relatives. The juxtaposition of the command to give and the prohibition against wastefulness is noteworthy. It suggests a balanced approach to financial management, one that encourages generosity while cautioning against excess. In our busy modern lives, it's easy to neglect our families. It's easy to neglect family relationships. And this verse reminds us to maintain and strengthen these bonds, not just emotionally, but also through financial support when needed. The mention of the poor and travelers extends the circle of our responsibility beyond the family. This could translate to supporting local charities, food banks, organizations that help the homeless or the refugees. By doing so, we fulfill our social responsibility and contribute to the well-being of our wider community. The prohibition against wastefulness is particularly relevant in our consumer-driven society. It encourages us to be more conscious of our spending habits, avoiding unnecessary purchases, and focusing on needs rather than wants. While the verse encourages giving, the warning against wastefulness suggests that our generosity should be balanced and sustainable. It's about giving within our means and in ways that truly benefit others, ensuring that our charitable actions don't lead to personal financial instability. So as we reflect on this verse, we see a timeless wisdom that balances generosity with responsibility. It calls us to be mindful of our interconnectedness with family, with our community, and with the world at large. By embracing these principles, we can cultivate a life of purpose, compassion, and balance.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم ربكم أعلم بما في نفوسكم إن تكونوا صالحين فإنه كان للأوابين غفورا وآت ذا القربى حقه والمسكين وابن السبيل ولا تبذر تبذيرا إن المبذرين كانوا إخوان الشياطين وكان الشيطان لربه كفورا